Greetings shippers, welcome back, and this time I thought we'd do something just a little fun because sometimes fandom can get so serious and tiring and just, let's be honest, emotionally draining depending upon which fandom you're a part of. Some of them can get a little toxic. I'm planning on doing a video about toxic fandoms, what they are, and some of the most toxic currently, so because of that I thought let's just unwind and have some fun because that's what fandom is all about. Fun. And it's easy to forget that sometimes, but that's not gonna happen here. Side note, we built the crib. There it is. Oh, I can't point. Oh, I need to look. There we go. Pointing at the crib. Success. Still only got 2 ironing boards though. I'm sorry to that person who wanted to see 5. Maybe one day. So what are we going to talk about today? I thought I'd go through what I consider to be some of the most fun and out there crack ships. We already did a video about what crack ships are, but there's always some debate. Some people find some ships more cracky than others. Basically, what is crack for some is perfectly plausible to somebody else. But that's not going to happen with these. There is no mistaking any of these for a reasonable or plausible ship. So without further ado, let's have some fun. Starting off with a Harry Potter pairing. You guys have been asking for a lot. Although I know no one meant this one. It's Drapple. Draco x Apple. Specifically, his green apple, his Granny Smith, as it appeared in movie 3, The Prisoner of Azkaban. Harry Potter has inspired many ships, some more plausible than others. However, Drapple stands out as one of the crackiest, and despite the small amount of people who ship it with varying degrees of seriousness, it is one of the more passionate. It also has the distinction of being a ship that Tom Felton, the actor who plays Draco, is aware of.
Someone told me today there's one called Drapple.
Yeah!
Which is Draco and an apple. Fantastic, don't get me wrong, I think it's brilliant that you guys are so creative.
Tom Felton being one of the more welcoming and open members of the cast when it comes to fandom and the creations therein, which, while not necessary, does make the ship more enjoyable for those who are involved in it, as it adds a tier of recognition and acknowledgement that can add to the enjoyment. So where does this come from? Well, as mentioned, there is a scene within the film The Prisoner of Azkaban wherein Draco is seen taking an enthusiastic bite out of a Granny Smith apple, which is of course green because Slytherin. The apple later made its triumphant return in the 6th film, The Half-Blood Prince, in the Vanishing Cabinet, much to the delight of Drapple shippers everywhere. Truly, there is no greater love. Don't get between Draco and his apple. That's what these books are secretly all about. Next up, Dean x Pie. Now when Dean's not bossing cats around or killing some demons, he needs pie. It's his food of choice, always has been, always will be. Dean's love of pie is more of a culmination of incidents rather than spurred on by one passionate encounter like Drapple. However, pie itself has an interesting history in the supernatural fandom, in that people actually keep track of it. There is a wiki entry charting all the instances Dean mentions or eats pie. In fact, the supernatural fandom made the idea that Dean was obsessed with pie fanon before it became canon, as after his first encounter with pie in episode 11 of season 1, entitled Scarecrow, fans decided it was his favorite food, and he doesn't mention he loves it until season 2, episode 21. As his character actually loves pie, the extrapolation of that love into a crack ship is not a far stretch. And this isn't all that pie is used for in the fandom. Some fans use pie as a way to indicate bisexual Dean, as he also eats cake. However, bisexual Dean is a discussion for another day. The best thing about Dean x Pie is that there is already a kind of sexual connotation out there when it comes to pie, and a series of, depending on who you ask, hilarious or horrible movies about that. I was also sent a fic by one of my fans of Dean x a cherry pie, and I'm not gonna lie, it made my day a little bit better. The best thing about Dean x Pie is how far people take it. The memes, the gifs, the fan art, it's really great. If you're ever having a bad day and need something sweet and silly, Dean x Pie. Although I warn you, it does get pretty smutty in there. So it's not exactly the kind of thing you want someone reading over your shoulder. If somebody walks in and you're reading a fic about Dean and a pie, it's pretty hard to explain. Now I wanted all 3 of these to be food-based because we kind of have a theme going, but unfortunately, that just didn't seem to want to happen because the 3rd one I wanted was Wonder Woman x ice cream. A phenomenon that started with the New 52, wherein there's a whole panel of her discovering this ice treat for the first time. This moment made such an impact, a version of it was even included in the 2017 Wonder Woman movie. Unfortunately, people don't seem to have seen the potential of this ship yet. I mean, I think that ice cream is a sexier food than an apple, but what do I know? Still, I really think we should make this happen. There are scenes of her and the ice cream. It is not reaching. This can happen. Just some dedicated individuals need to make it happen. I don't know why there isn't any interest for this. However, what there is interest for is Captain Hook x the Floor, also known as Hooked Floor or Captain Floor. That's right, when Captain Hook first appeared, he was swashbuckling and kind of dangerous. But that quickly died down as it was decided that he was going to be pretty much an exclusive love interest for Emma. As a result, he moved from villain to anti-hero and eventually straight up hero. And if there's one thing the hero gets, it's whumped. That means knocked around, back and forth. And for Captain Hook, that happens a lot. To the point where some fans decide that actually his true love isn't Emma, it's the floor. That's why he can't stay away from it. Why are people keeping them apart? Someone needs to put him on the ground permanently. Their love is meant to be. So for those who are wondering or were a bit uncertain as to what crack is, this is largely what it is. It's silly, it's fun, it's just people going out there and just throwing their ideas against the wall and seeing what sticks and seeing what people like. And a lot of it has to do with what people find funny. Of course, there are times when crack ships turn around and become real ships, but that tends not to happen when you're talking about a person and an inanimate object. Like I said, this was just a brief, fun interlude to get something out there while I write the horrifying script that is toxic fandom. Why? Until then, this has been Shipper's Guide to the Galaxy. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check out social media to stay up to date. Also, special thanks to all my patrons for helping make this possible. And as always, stay tuned, for there are as many ships out there as there are stars in the sky.